Hello, beautiful souls. Let's talk about feeling abandoned on your twin flame journey by your twin flame. I have been there. I have experienced many nights crying in my room, feeling like I'm not enough, feeling like if my twin flame just knew that we're twin flames, this would make all the difference. And in truth, being abandoned by your twin flame feels absolutely miserable. I do not wish that on anyone. But what I have found and what I have learned through the teachings of union is that if my twin flame, who is my perfect mirror, is I'm experiencing them abandoning me, they are ultimately mirroring back to me where I'm abandoning an aspect of myself. And I was in total denial, like, nope, I'm not abandoning myself in any way. There's no way I'm with myself all the time. But when I really truly looked at this belief, really looked at this core understanding of what true twin flames are, and that they're my perfect mirror, and that he can't mirror anything back that I'm not already doing or believing within myself, and I truly chose to heal abandoning myself, that is when I experienced my twin flame fully coming into a committed relationship with me. And it almost actually happened like instantly and overnight, where I was just like, is this really happening? And so my desire is to share with you in this video how to heal self-abandonment so that you can experience true commitment and wholeness with yourself, and then ultimately experience it with your true twin flame. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I am Kanisha with Peace, Love, Faith, and Divine Union. I am a twin flame ascension coach, and I also love helping people really work on their mindset and getting very clear on the core beliefs that they're holding on to, and to be able to let go of any negative core beliefs and creating new ones so that you can transform your life from the inside out, because that is the truth, is that your reality is a reflection of your inner reality. So if you're experiencing in your reality abandonment from your twin flame, it's because it's reflecting that there's an inner abandonment within yourself. And this could be really anything. You could be abandoning yourself when it comes to your finances, when it comes to self-care, when it comes to maybe reparenting yourself, in any aspect where you might just abandon your true core beliefs, your boundaries, your standards for yourself in order to please other people or to put other people first. And I am a recovering people pleaser. I used to put everyone before me out of hopes that if I were to put them before me or take care of them, that they would return that energy and love and take care of me. And I found that to be one, out of survival, but when I really sat with it, I was like, wow, it's kind of selfish. And there's really a lot of like conditional love to that. I'm not actually unconditionally loving people in this place. I'm loving them with conditions and hoping that they'll love me back. And so I had to get very clear that that's not how I wanted to operate anymore. And so when I started experiencing really feeling abandoned by my twin flame, I had to start getting clear on where was I abandoning myself. And what I first started doing was I was like watching tarot readings all the time. I was obsessed with seeing like angel numbers and really trying to figure out how to fix things on the outside, but I wasn't really being serious about doing the inner work and going within and healing, feeling abandoned within. And so I'm not saying that like going to readings and doing things on the outside is a bad thing, but it's not really the order that you want to do it. We're taught to go outside and like fix things on the outside, but with your twin flame and with the inner work, it actually requires you to go inward first before really trying to change anything outwardly. And so I found that healing abandonment for me really started to stem from childhood, of really not feeling enough, feeling not good enough for my family or my parents' love, feeling emotionally just drained all the time. I found myself always chasing love, always chasing validation and approval. And I had to get very clear that that's not how I wanted to operate in my life anymore. I didn't want to chase men or love in any type of way. I didn't want to be the woman who always felt like I was the second best, or I was the placeholder in relationships. And so I had to really operate from a place of really truly starting to reclaim myself and putting myself first. And that was kind of the moment where things really shifted. I stopped asking myself, like, why am I not good enough for this person? Or what do I need to do for them to see me clearly or to want to receive me or want to be in my space? To, is this person good for me? Does this person help really give into, like, pour into me? Do they really support where I'm headed in my life? Do they see me clearly? Are they loving me unconditionally for me? Are they trying to take from me? Like, I really had to start shifting how I viewed my relationships, instead of what can I give to this relationship in order to keep them and have them stay and not abandon me, because that was a huge fear that I experienced a lot of, especially experiencing that as a child, of always being abandoned. To Does this relationship really serve me? And is there an equal give and take here? Is there a natural flow of unconditional love between the two of us? Do we help each other grow? Or are they just here because they really love my energy? And then once they get it, they like bounce. And so I had to be very, very honest with myself in this space and get very clear on what kind of relationship I truly desired at the core in all of my relationships, but specifically with my twin flame. So, a few things that I did want to touch on was some myths that I've heard people talk about recently, and also things that I've experienced as well, and that I actually really had to heal at the core using the mirror exercise. And once I truly cleared some of these myths and these beliefs within myself, I started to see a reflection, a different reflection back from my twin flame. Now, remember, your twin flame is your perfect mirror. So if you believe something, if you genuinely believe something at your core, if you're operating in a certain way at your core, that is what they're going to reflect back to you. And so I had to really pay attention to him as my mirror. This is something that I think most people get very caught into is, well, they're my twin flame, so I want this romantic relationship. But your twin flame is the perfect reflection of your true self, and they're the perfect reflection of your relationship with your creator, with God. And ultimately, their job is to help you become the best version of yourself and help you ascend into ultimately the best version of yourself. They are your soul's perfect reflection. And so instead of looking at him as this possible like romantic partnership, I looked at him for my spiritual growth. And so when I started doing that, that really helped me start to see where, like, wow, like there are things about myself that I've actually done over and over again in relationships. I've had these patterns play out over and over and over again in relationships. But this is the first person who's really helped reflect them back to me so that I can shift and change. And once I shifted and changed for the highest good of me, he shifted and changed and reflected that healing back to me. So that was one of the things that I really started to notice about this person, and how I started to really explore him being my twin flame, was that he would mirror back to things to me that didn't always feel that great. But once I really truly healed them at the core and made a new core choice, he reflected that healing back to me and that love back to me. And so some myths that I'm going to help you bust here on your twin flame journey is going to be, the first one is that you don't have to be fully healed to be in union. And ultimately, you just have to stop abandoning yourself. So for me, that looked like not always changing my schedule or putting people first when I had already things set for myself for the day. So I would do this a lot where, like, I would have my day set. This is what I'm going to do for me. I'm going to create content. I'm going to work on my business. I'm going to take care of my home. And as soon as like a friend or a family called and they needed something, I would drop everything to go help them. And then it would totally just like throw off my whole day. And part of it was like, there are times where like if there was an emergency or someone like genuinely really needed support, then yes, I'm going to help. But there were like things where there's like, hey, like I just need this and this. It's not really a big deal. And I'd be like, no, I got it. I'll come right now. And that really came from a place of people pleasing. That really came from a place of just wanting to feel needed and loved. And instead, I wasn't actually showing up for the part of me who really needed me and who really needed me to love her and be committed to the things that I said I was going to be committed to. So I had to really stop abandoning myself in that space. I also had to stop abandoning myself by avoiding my finances. Financial things really made me uncomfortable, really not wanting to look at my abundance or my bills or whatever was coming up financially because it didn't feel good. And so, any place where things don't feel good in your life, and instead of going and looking at it head on and healing it, with the mirror exercise and really loving myself in that space, I would avoid by going to do other things. And that's me abandoning myself. So ultimately, any place where you're avoiding yourself or avoiding doing something that's going to help better you, avoiding your feelings, avoiding um, giving to yourself and caring for yourself, those are all places where you abandon yourself. And I had to really start being very aware of where I was doing that and making a new core choice to no, I'm going to prioritize myself here. I'm going to really love myself by showing up for myself in this space. And it really became a very loving thing to be more about myself, and not in a selfish way, but in a way where I genuinely honored and loved myself and respected myself. And when I did that, I started to see very quickly those who were getting high off of my energy and me putting them first, they were really upset by this boundary. And those who really genuinely unconditionally loved me honored the boundary and really honored the fact that like, no, she's taking care of herself. Like I love that she's taking care of herself. And they reflected that back to me. So I found that to be really important to have to first really let go of this belief that I had to fully be healed in order to come into union, because I'm still healing and yet I now live with my twin flame. So you don't have to be perfectly healed in order to be in union. The second thing is that union is an energetic match to self-devotion and not perfection. So for me, I realized that like the more that I was just loving myself instead of feeling like, oh, I have to be perfect, then that's when he's going to come in. No, like I didn't have the perfect body. I didn't have the perfect finances. I didn't have the perfect career yet. And he still came in. I just had to really be devoted and in a space of really choosing to love all these places that he was able to come in. Like when I really truly started to love my life, that is when my twin flame was able to naturally just kind of come in and enjoy the space with me. I think a lot of people hold on to this belief that they have to be perfect in order to be with their twin flame. But in truth, you do not, because you're created as a perfect being. You're a child of God. You're already perfect. But we're letting go of these beliefs that we have to be perfect on the outside in order to be perfect within. And that's not the truth. And so when you start really enjoying your life, enjoying you, it's going to attract your twin flame. Most people think that, oh, my life is going to be great once my twin flame is here. No, your life needs to already feel good in order to really like grow a foundation with your twin flame. So know that you don't have to be perfect in order to come into your union. And then I also find another thing with a myth is that we find that like how do I put this? There's a lot of like toxic twin flame advice that I see all the time. I have people commenting on my TikToks all the time, on my YouTube all the time, and it's very interesting on like what they truly believe, and that's okay. That's just the information that they take in. But I like genuinely want to like tell you to like really do the research and really find people who are already in their union. There's so many people out there who are, and I say this lightly because there are coaches that I know who aren't in their union, but who are not spewing separation consciousness. So if you have a coach or someone who's telling you like, oh, it's going to be impossible that you're with your twin flame, or like you really are going to, it's a really rare occasion that you'll be with your twin flame, but like we can help you come into union with like a high level soulmate. No, like all twin flame coaches that I know who aren't in their union have a deep belief of no, like you're meant to be in your twin flame union with your twin flame this lifetime. And that's what I've experienced, is that those who truly genuinely do the work of their inner healing and really doing the self-reflection and choosing to truly change at a core level to become the best version of themselves, to align with love, to align with God, they absolutely do come into union with their twin flame. And that's because they believe in love. They believe that they are meant to be with their divine counterpart. I've seen a lot of people out there who talk about twin flame consciousness and twin flame relationships, and they literally are spewing separation consciousness. You can't come into union with your twin flame if you believe in separation. And you weren't created in separation, but the reason why you're experiencing separation from your twin flame is because you experience separation consciousness within yourself. You believe in separation. And so I really encourage you to be very aware of people who tell you that like there's only 144,000 people coming to you. No, everyone has a twin flame. Everyone is meant to be in union with your twin flame. You might have experience like your twin flame. I feel like my understanding from what God has shared with me is that if you're on the twin flame journey, if you are coming to the awareness of twin flames, it's because your soul is ready to be in union with your twin flame. Your soul is ready to do the work to come into union with your twin flame, y'all. And so it's just the way that it is, like your consciousness and your soul wouldn't attract this experience, wouldn't attract this video if you weren't meant to come into union or start to heal in order to come into union, not only with your twin flame, but with yourself. And so it wouldn't be compassionate. That's not loving at all. But it is what it is. Like, you believe what you want to believe. What I had to really heal was I had to let go of the belief that I was the only one who wasn't going to come into union with their twin flame. And I also had to let go of the belief that it was going to take a very long time. I had to let go of the belief that I had to like convince my twin flame, or that he had to be doing the inner work in order for us to come into union. Like, I had to let go of a lot of beliefs and really just believe that I was already in union with my twin flame inwardly, and believe that it was going to come together. And after doing a lot of the work, it started kind of just unfolding, and it naturally just came together. So there's that. What really shifted for me was just putting my head down and doing the mirror exercise, letting go of negative beliefs about love, negative beliefs about relationship, negative beliefs about masculines, negative beliefs about feminines. Like, I wasn't allowing myself to relax into my feminine energy until I really like started to heal around the feminine energy. And I really had to buckle down and just do the mirror work. I had to get very clear on where I was abandoning myself and making new choices there. And when I really allowed those things to happen and allow myself to feel through all of those things, I started to feel very empowered, very present with myself, very aware. I started to get very clear when blocks were coming up and be able to move through those things. And I realized that my union was not with my twin flame first. It was with me first. It was with God and myself first. And when I really started to put God first and myself, that is when everything started to really align. And I was coming home to myself. I was becoming who I truly wanted to be at my core, and then ultimately attracting the divine counterpart that met me in all of those areas. So I really hope that that helps give you a better idea on why your twin flame is abandoning, or experiencing abandonment from your twin flame. What I've learned from my twin flame is that it didn't feel good for him to have to create that space. It didn't feel good to him to not communicate to me. He was always thinking about me. He was always praying for me and hoping that things were getting better for me. But ultimately, that space that happens between you and your twin flame during that abandonment period is space to help you go within and heal. And when you truly heal that, you'll see that space and that abandonment really like dissolve. Last thing that I want to share is I had to forgive my parents for abandoning me and many aspects of my childhood. And once I really started to do that, I started to get very clear on why these patterns were coming up and how my belief in abandonment was being reflected in my reality. When I stopped believing in abandonment, when I came to the really true understanding that God does not abandon me, and I'm only having a relationship with God and all these people, that is when I really started to clear that abandonment upset. I do have it come up every once in a while when me and my twin flame are in an upset. But as soon as I like let go of that belief that like, oh my God, he's gonna abandon me. No, I let it go and I'm like, God does not abandon me. I don't abandon myself. And so I'm not going to experience my true twin flame abandoning me. And once I like get to that space, he like comes through the door and he's like, all right, let's talk about this because I don't want to be in an upset with you and I love you. And I just want to clear this up. So it really does reflect back to me of like abandonment is just an illusion and separation is just an illusion. But the experience of abandonment and separation feels very real. So I have a lot of compassion if that's what you're moving through. And again, I'm here to support you and guide you through that and really help you move through that if that is something that you're moving through currently. It doesn't have to be a long period of time. It doesn't have to be this drawn out thing of experiencing this with your twin flame. So definitely check out that intro session below. I have been helping people come into union for about 4 years. I love seeing my clients coming into union, having communication with their twin flames after many years or many months or how long it's been of not communicating with their twin flame, and really allowing them to become the best versions of themselves because they're healing their core blocks and upsets to love, to God, to their true self. So thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with a friend. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Love you all.